Hey guys, what's up? It's your man Pete. And I thought I would do a short little video, well, kind of short, about the hot housing market here in the Greater Toronto area. And just for fun to compare it to the most expensive housing market in the world, and that is Hong Kong. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of perspective or some contrast for us to see really how we stack up against some of the most iconic and most expensive world-class cities. It's no wonder billionaires are trying to explore new planets because it's really a real estate play, huh, Elon? But yeah, it's such a hot topic of debate. And I talked a little bit about it in my last video about the federal election and about the fact that we actually need about 1.8 million new houses to supply the need and the demand for people that need housing in the country. But of course, this video is inspired by a video that came to me through the YouTube algorithm that was done by Business Insider, and they interviewed some people who live in Hong Kong who are living under the most extreme situations that I've ever seen in my life. Being Asian myself and having some kinship with Hong Kong, I visited that place. I've had some really good times in my younger years, and I just wanted to make this video because I can. But my hope is after you watch this video, I want you to feel better about Toronto. I want you to feel a little bit more optimistic and hopefully motivate you so that you'll actually get into the market and participate so that you can start building wealth for yourself as well, no matter how young you are. And if you're feeling a little unmotivated and a little bit hopeless yourself, then we can always go back to the old saying that is really truth. And that is, I cried because I have no shoes until I met a man that had no feet. But while I'm trying not to be political here, but political Pete, that's actually got a nice ring to it. But what I'm really trying to do in this video is to try to give you a sense of where we are in terms of pricing right now compared to the most expensive markets in the world, where people in Hong Kong are literally living in shoe boxes, like actual shoe boxes. Some of these homes are called cages and some of them are called coffin homes. Although I'm not going to force you to watch this video, but I'm going to pull some of those facts and figures and stats out of the video and I'm going to present them in my video and help us compare apples to apples with Toronto and Hong Kong and just sort of see where we are in terms of stacking up against the most expensive market in the world. You ready to go? All right, let's do it. Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so we're going to get into the numbers and the facts and figures just a little bit here. And first of all, we're going to start with the average rent. So basically the average rent in Hong Kong is twice as expensive as it is in London in the UK. Average unit sizes are less than half of those in New York City, but they're 4 times as expensive as New York. Wow. In fact, the gentleman that they actually interviewed in the video was paying $360 per month for 30 square feet. That's right, you heard me right, which roughly translates to $12 per square foot per month in rent. And if we were to translate that to some of the smallest units here in Toronto, for example, bachelor units that are around, 330 square feet, this would actually work out to $4,000 per month of rent for a studio bachelor. But as we all know, Toronto is not that expensive. In fact, the studio bachelors on average last month were renting for about, $1,770, almost $1,800. But is it possible for us to someday become close to that? It'll take a while, but it might be possible. Here's a disclaimer. Of course, we all know that with smaller units, the price per square foot is more expensive, but as we get larger, the price per square foot actually comes down. But this is just for illustrative purposes, right? Okay, so now let's move on to the luxury market. Earlier this year in Hong Kong, the most expensive sale of an apartment in Hong Kong was record-breaking. It was the most expensive in all of Asia. And that property sold for $59 million. I had to do a little bit of reverse calculation here, but the home was roughly 3,400 square feet, which is not small by any measure. It is a luxury-sized apartment condo. But what was really appalling was the price per square foot for this property. It came out to $17,532 for 1 square foot. Does anyone have a tissue? I think my nose is about to bleed. But just for comparison, I thought I would pull up a comparable here in Toronto in the luxury market as well. So I tapped into the MLS database to figure out what was the most expensive condo sale this year and see if we could sort of measure apples to apples. And it turns out a big sale happened in the Rosedale area in a very exclusive building at 1 Roxborough. And this 4,000 square foot unit sold for $11,600,000. So if we do a little bit of simple math, it actually works out to $2,900 per square foot for the most expensive condo sale here in the city this year versus $59 million in Hong Kong. So as you can see, for anybody who is coming over or immigrating to Canada or even moving back to Canada as an expat who's lived in Hong Kong for some time, properties here, even though expensive, don't even compare or come anywhere near the prices in Hong Kong. Here's a few other facts about Hong Kong and their property market that you may not have known about, which is that only a quarter of their landmass is actually developed. So Hong Kong is actually not that small. There's actually quite a bit of land space, but They're not building on it. And only 3.7% of the land is zoned for high density, which is pretty much what you need when you have that many people living in the city. I think it's like 7.5 million. Geez, what's the holdup, Hong Kong? Another fun fact, or not so fun fact, really a statistic, is that the wealthiest Hong Kongers, the multi-millionaires, they hold 78% of their wealth in real estate, and they are hodling for dear life. That means that there's a high concentration of money going into real estate, speculating in real estate. It's really not very diversified, but it also explains why Hong Kong is one of the wealthiest and most affluent cities in the world. It also helps that it's a very extreme low tax business environment, and it was built as a financial hub. As our cities continue to grow here in North America and pretty much everywhere around the world, are we headed towards what we're seeing in Hong Kong? Are we headed towards people living in cages or literal shoeboxes? My gut feeling is that that probably won't happen in Canada, but the thing is, there is a very high concentration of people moving here, moving into the big cities from some of the smaller towns across the country, and also people from international cities coming to Toronto for better opportunities. So obviously in Hong Kong, there's some capital interests there, especially when it comes to the government and their developers. In fact, even the mainland Chinese government has mandated by 2049, they want to make sure that they have eradicated this problem of cage homes, because they probably think it's a little bit too capitalistic and not enough socialism. And some of the experts in the video actually pointed out that this could actually be an artificial shortage and supply of homes. So obviously there's some capitalistic pull here from, the big moneyed developers. And frankly speaking, that's probably what's happening here in Toronto as well too, because they're playing the long game, right? They're land banking and holding land for 10, 20, 30 years, and then they put up projects and sell them at the right time, or just sell off the land to another developer. But no, in conclusion, it's not that bad here. And frankly, the rise in housing prices is happening everywhere. It's global. And even here, as we're heading towards $1,000 per square foot on average for condos, and of course in the downtown core, with some hitting $1,500 to $2,000 per square foot for more of the luxury stuff. So anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. I hope there was something informative in there, and hopefully it gives you some indication of where Toronto might be headed, although we are very different from this little island of Hong Kong. But I hope this motivates you to work harder, save your money, get your money into real estate so that you can start building and saving wealth for yourself long term, at least getting on the ladder and moving up the ladder. So be sure to hit the subscribe button, give us a like, leave us a comment. I'm very happy to read and respond to comments from my fans. And feel free to let me know if you have any research or data or statistics that indicates where we're headed here in Toronto, because I'd like to know too. But yeah, as always, if you need personal care, attention, and guidance, then don't be afraid to hit us up, send us an email, as these are certainly very exciting times for real estate. Contact and website is in the link below, so feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to help. So we'll see you guys in the next one, and bye for now.